from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven?
Do you remember when you had change in your purse or your pocket and you could actually buy something with it? I can't think of anything I can buy for a nickel, a dime, or a quarter, never mind a penny. But there was a time when you could. So let's look back at some of the things and some of the places where you could. The first low-cost retail store was the F.W. Woolworth 5 and dime. You could actually buy items for 5 and 10 cents. And if the price was higher, the item was still inexpensive and you could still use your coins. And speaking of Woolworth, they were so successful that they became a 20th century fixture in many Main Street communities. The Woolworth stores are gone now and the 5 and dime store concept has faded, but we still have one of the remaining stores on Commonwealth Avenue in West Concord. Now how about the penny candy store? You could find them in many towns and yep, Littleton had one. Our penny candy store was on King Street in the old Hunter Appliance location that's next to the post office. I'll bet a lot of you remember walking into a penny candy store with a quarter or 50 cents and leaving with a paper bag full of goodies. Now let's see. There were Jawbreakers, Fireballs, Mary Janes, button candy, ribbon candy, wax bottle liquid candy, Tootsie Rolls, root beer barrels, and God knows what else. I didn't have a candy store where I grew up in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, but I had Pat's mom and pop store where I could buy candy or a 5-cent Dixie cup with a picture of a movie star on the inside lid. Movie theaters. There was a time when you could buy your ticket with pocket change and get yourself an afternoon of entertainment. You also found entertainment at the Penny Arcade. It had bumper cars, pinball machines, skee-ball alleys, games of skill, and just so much more. Okay, let's switch gears, and just for fun, let's look at some of the sayings we use that are coin-related idioms. So here goes. A penny for your thoughts. You're a penny pincher. I bought that for a pretty penny. You know, I can be penny wise and pound foolish. I don't have 2 cents to rub together. Let's up the ante. That's not worth a plug nickel. Don't take any wooden nickels now. It's only going to cost 1 thin dime. I stopped my car on a dime. Those are neat, but they're a dime a dozen. Soon you can buy those for penny on the dollar. Okay, I'm not going to nickel and dime you anymore, so let's move on. Let's talk about inflation and how it's eaten away at a coin's value. A 1913 penny used to purchase what a quarter does today. $1 in 1960 is equivalent to the purchasing power of $8 today. That kind of makes a case for eliminating pennies and maybe nickels. But there's another reason to eliminate them. It's the cost to make them. The U.S. Mint spends more money to produce and distribute nickels and pennies than the coins are actually worth. It costs 1.7 cents to make a penny and 8 cents to make a nickel. By not producing them, the U.S. Mint estimates that the government could save up to $39 million a year, depending on the changes that you make to them. Now, that's not exactly chump change. Of course, there's a flip side to this argument. For one thing, it only costs 3.3 cents to make a dime and 8.4 cents to make a quarter. So that kind of levels the playing field. Now, here's some encouraging info for penny pinchers. Surveys have shown that after a store purchase, more than half of us take pennies and change instead of leaving them in the penny dish. Also, if you were to eliminate pennies in an all-cash transaction, the price would be rounded up. Now, by not rounding up, a Penn State University study found that consumers would save $600 million a year if we keep the penny in circulation. Now, some of you are listening to me and thinking, this is just a lot of nonsense. Only 25% of us use cash for all day-to-day purchases, and 2/3 of us use cash for anything less than $10 or less, rather. But far and away, the most popular way to pay is to pull out the plastic and pay with a credit or a debit card. Now, another way to make payment is with a smartphone or or a watch, and personally, I'm just not there yet. And then lastly, I have to mention this new currency, Bitcoin. It's this new type of virtual money. It's not pocket change and the good old greenback dollars that we use now. It's some cryptocurrency, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go there because it's way above my pay grade. And that's my 2 cents. I'm Bob Spinozzi.
There'll be pennies from heaven for you and for me.